I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. President Obama said Friday that he is releasing an additional $70 million in military aid for Israel. The aid, which was first announced in May, will go to help Israel expand production of the short-range rocket defense system, the Iron Dome, that has proved successful at stopping rocket attacks fired at Israeli civilians from Gaza. Obama made the announcement as he signed the Enhanced Security Cooperation Act of 2012, which expands military and civilian cooperation with Israel. The president said, "I hope that as I sign this bill, once again, everybody understands how committed all of us are, Republicans and Democrats, as Americans, to our friends in making sure that Israel is safe and secure." The Washington Post reports that following the launch of a multi-million-dollar Republican Jewish Committee ad campaign with financial backing by business magnate Sheldon Adelson, a group of wealthy and influential Democrats is quietly putting together their own effort to raise several $million to counter these efforts. Mark Stanley, a Texas lawyer who's also chair of the National Jewish Democratic Council, is organizing the effort. He told the Post, "We need to amass the resources to fight against the big amounts of money that Sheldon Adelson and others have given to the Republican Jewish Coalition and also to the Emergency Committee for Israel." The Post mentions Democrats like Harvey Weinstein, co-founder of Miramax Films, as well as Rahm Emanuel, as being involved. Stanley told the JTA that he did not expect to match the RJC funds, saying, "The truth is we won't have the resources that Republicans have because we don't have a Sheldon Adelson yet." The JTA reports that the leadership of the U.S. House of Representatives blocked a vote earlier this week calling for the moment of silence for the Munich 11. Representative Eliot Engel, who co-sponsored the resolution with Representative Nita Lowey, which had passed unanimously in the Senate last month, told the JTA that Resolution 663 was not voted on this week in the House because the body's leadership does not allow what it calls commemorative resolutions to come to the floor for a vote. The House leadership agreed to ban most of these type of resolutions in an effort to speed up the voting process last year. Engel cited that an exception was made this week allowing a resolution of outrage against the recent mass shooting in Aurora, Colorado. Engel said he recently approached House Majority Leader Eric Cantor about the issue, and that while Cantor was sympathetic and offered to assist in other ways, he felt that he could not violate the House leadership's rules. And finally, staying with the Munich 11, as I'm sure many of you know, the 2012 Olympics begin this evening in London. This is the 40th anniversary of the 1972 Olympics in Munich, Germany, where 11 Israeli athletes, members of the Israeli Olympic team, were murdered by Black September terrorists. As we've been reporting, there have been serious national and international efforts to encourage the International Olympic Committee to hold a minute of silence in memory of and in tribute to the slain athletes. The IOC has continually refused to do so. However, Jewish communities and people of conscience all over the world have held their own tributes with ceremonies of their own. Such a moment was observed in New York City Friday outside the Israel consulate, led by Consul General Ido Aharoni and sponsored by the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York and the New York Board of Rabbis. Shalom TV was there and had the opportunity to speak with those present.
Well, I think the Olympic Committee is basically full of baloney. They claim they're not political, but by their actions or inaction, they are showing that they are exactly political. If it were any other country but Israel, where the athletes were murdered, I believe there would have been moments of silence and other things to those athletes years and years ago. I think that the International Olympic Committee needs to be exposed for the fraud that it is, and they can keep going along with their fiction, but people like myself and other members of Congress and other political officials and public officials are going to call them out on it, because it's one thing not to do a moment of silence, which is shameful. It's another thing to sort of cloak it in this self-righteousness which they don't deserve.
Of course, all of us here at Shalom TV join with you in sending our profound condolences to the Munich 11 families who lost their loved ones 40 years ago, and in honoring their memories. And that's Shalom TV's news update. I'm Teisha Bader.